3 years ago, Arsenal were a joke, soft bottlers, a banter club, and every single season ended the exact same way: hope followed by collapse, excitement followed by disappointment. But now they've become one of the most feared teams in Europe, Premier League champions with young superstars, a world-class manager, and a squad that suddenly looks ready for the biggest stage of all. And now people are asking a question that sounded impossible not long ago. Can Arsenal actually win the Champions League? Or are we watching another football moment team? A team that shines brightly for one season before disappearing completely, because football history is full of them. And Arsenal fans know better than anyone how fast dreams can die. People forget how broken Arsenal looked a few years ago. This wasn't a normal rebuild. This was a club that had completely lost its identity. No leaders, no mentality, no fear factor. The Emirates felt quiet, the fans were divided, and every big game felt like a disaster waiting to happen. Then Arteta arrived, and honestly, at first it looked like another mistake. 8th place finishes, embarrassing losses, fans screaming Arteta out every single week. Some people wanted him sacked immediately, but behind the chaos something was slowly changing. Arsenal stopped acting like celebrities and started acting like competitors, and for the first time in years there was actually a clear direction. And here's the scary part: this Arsenal team still hasn't reached its peak. Saka is still improving, Saliba isn't even close to his prime, Odegaard is playing the best football of his life, and Declan Rice completely changed the mentality of this team, because Arsenal used to play beautiful football, but beautiful football doesn't always win trophies. Now they can suffer, now they can control games, now they can survive pressure and still find a way to win, and T-Shat is what separates good teams from champions. Look at the best teams in Europe: Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Manchester City. They all know how to win ugly, they all know how to survive bad moments, and Arsenal finally learned that too. But here's the problem: the Champions League is a completely different monster. It doesn't care about your project, it doesn't care about vibes, possession stats, or how good you looked in February. The Champions League is ruthless. One bad pass and you're out, one nervous night and your entire season is finished, and that's exactly why so many incredible teams never win it. Guardiola needed years to finally get his first Champions League with City. Klopp only won one despite building one of the best teams in Europe. Even legendary squads collapse under pressure, and Arsenal still haven't experienced enough European pain. Because in the Champions League, experience matters more than people realize. Real Madrid can play terribly for 80 minutes and still destroy you in 5. That aura is real, and Arsenal are still trying to build theirs. And this is where things get uncomfortable, because football has seen teams like this before. Young, exciting teams that looked unstoppable. Teams everybody believed would dominate for years, but they never did. Think about Ajax in 2019, young, fearless, magical, gone almost overnight. Pochettino's Spurs reached a Champions League final and then everything collapsed. Napoli looked ready to dominate Europe and disappeared. Monaco had one of the most exciting young teams ever assembled and got ripped apart immediately, because football moves fast. One injury, one bad transfer window, one dressing room problem, and suddenly the magic disappears. That's the danger for Arsenal, because reaching the top is hard, but staying there is even harder. But there's one reason Arsenal fans should genuinely believe this could be different, and his name is Mikel Arteta. The man is obsessed, and I mean truly obsessed. You can see it in the way Arsenal play. Every press looks rehearsed, every movement feels intentional, every player understands exactly what they need to do. This isn't chaos, this is a machine being built piece by piece. And unlike other young teams, Arsenal don't feel emotional anymore. They feel cold, controlled, matured, and honestly that's what makes them dangerous, because talent wins games but mentality wins tournaments, and for the first time in years Arsenal genuinely look mentally strong enough to survive Europe. But now comes the hardest part of all: expectations. Because nobody fears the underdog forever. Next season Arsenal won't surprise anyone. Every stadium will be waiting for them. Every manager will study them. Every weakness will be exposed, and that's when we discover the truth. Are Arsenal a dynasty in the making? Or was this just a perfect storm? Because the scary thing about football is that windows close fast, sometimes before you even realize they were open. Right now Arsenal are standing at the edge of greatness. One more step and they could become the next dominant force in Europe, but one mistake and they become another what if story, another team that looked destined for greatness before disappearing completely. So maybe Arsenal really can win the Champions League, or maybe this is their peak, And honestly, that's what makes next season terrifying, because now there are no excuses left. So what do you think? Is this the beginning of an Arsenal dynasty? Or are they just another moment team?